Here we go, folks.
Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. Come on down tonight. Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. Everything gonna be all right. Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. Come on down today. Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. It's a great place to stay.
Before I continue, interesting pre-show. Is it 32, 66, or 99?
66. I just sent you a message
I got it.
right as you were saying it. Oh,
Should
there
be
we
good
go.
now.
Oh no, now it's giving me another number. So click 89.
Yes, me? Which one?
89. 89.
Oh, this is like bingo.
Here we go.
That should work.
All right. Yep.
Here we go, folks.
Back again for number 10. Join Big B, DK, and Mike Jolitz for all the hot topics, weird news, and shenanigans. It's Cave Crew Radio, Season 10 at cavecrewradio.com.
Hey, Jason Scott, great to see you. I don't know why you're home tonight. It's a beautiful night out there, and it's a weekend. You should be out there doing something. Anyway, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, is I manage the website. Big B pays for it on his end. I do some other stuff on my end, and we are right now trying to manipulate to get Big B in, because I don't know if you've ever done it, but it happens to me sometimes when I'm like, out of the country. They'll say, we are recognizing an irregular login from this device. But did it work, Big B?
It looks like it did. I'm sending you a picture now.
Now, what do I got to do now?
Nothing. I'm just sending you a confirmation picture, so it looks like it's okay now.
All right, good. All right, so that's our. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, we are the owners of the station. We are the production crew. We are the marketing crew. We are the hosts. We are everything. And Big B and I trying to manipulate Google, which is getting tougher and tougher. Big B, you're the IT guy. Probably a good thing.
Yeah, there's there's different layers of security being added on and all that. So it's tougher to spoof an account, hack an account, get into an account, things like that. We do that, at my job all the time. We keep adding layers of security. So the next thing we're doing is password complexity, which will be fun.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about that in the future. Now, do you do? Here's an interesting thing we do at work, and I got caught once. Do you do like fake spam to see if people will click on a certain link or something?
No, not. We don't have a program to do that. We're really we're in the process of moving as a company that acts as if it's in the wild west, meaning anything goes. You just like do things just to do things,
right?
To a big boy company, a real company. So we don't have things like endpoint security, which is antivirus stuff. We just added MDM, which is mobile device management. We're doing password complexity now. So this is all things that are in the pipeline for us to do, and one of the things will be the spam testing, or the stress testing, so to speak.
Right. We do that at work. It's fun. And of course, you click on the email, and if the address looks irregular, and we do this at home all the time, because I'm telling you, at least 3-4 times a week, Big B, we're getting emails at home saying your Netflix has expired.
Right.
Or your internet has expired, or your banking information. And they do a really good job. And as you learn through the training, there's certain key points you look at for spam and phishing and various things.
Yeah, I mean the biggest one would be misspellings. Misspellings or bad grammar, because if you're getting an email from a legitimate company, everything's spelled properly, everything has proper grammar, it's coherent. Most of these spam ones or these phishing emails, one don't have proper grammar. It says like uh, uh, I going to close account, something like that.
Right.
And it has massive misspellings in it where it's like, all right, this, you can tell right off the bat, this is not legitimate. The other thing you can do,
Or if you get an email from someone within the company and it's saying, I want you to check out this, click here.
yeah,
And it's just very irregular to the process of the company.
right. So we get those too. Like we'll get, and I got one a couple of weeks ago, a random text message from supposedly the CEO of the company. And it says something to the effect of, hey, it doesn't even, because it doesn't know my name. It just says, hey, this is the CEO of the company. This is his name, comma, CEO of, and the company I work for, which nobody would ever put that.
Right.
I'm in a meeting and need your help. Please respond as soon as possible. And it's fake. It's not.
Now, as we're carrying on this, good conversation for everyone to learn before we get into talking FLA and Twitter shits and Mike reads the news. Is there any danger to a cell phone? I'm not so afraid on my cell phone as I am on my laptop. Is the danger the same?
Yeah, I mean, you can get infiltrated on your cell phone. What a lot of these texts are looking for more information. So if you responded to those texts or that text message that I received, you would kind of get led down a path where you would eventually be prompted to give up some certain information, some certain company information.
Which the CEO would never ask you.
Correct.
Right. Now, one I heard the other day, and I actually wanted to ask you about this, but I didn't have a chance offline, is I heard, you get those like spam calls.
Yeah.
I was told never say hello first because they're going to clone your voice now.
I've never heard that.
Haven't heard that yet.
No.
Okay.
It
All
doesn't.
right,
That doesn't even make sense, because if you respond at all, you would get your voice cloned. It doesn't matter if you say hello, what's up, what do you want, yes. It doesn't matter. They would clone your voice if that was a thing.
Right.
I'm not sure that's a thing at the moment.
Not yet. Okay. AI, right? It's scary, this new world. What AI or AL, whatever they call it, can do.
AI, artificial intelligence.
Yeah. It's scary. All right, folks, we're a minute away from the show. Thank you, everyone, being in chat. Make sure you say hello. Let us know who you are. You might be a Facebook user. You might be someone we recognize, like Jason Scott, who's out there tonight. We have Twitter shits, and we'll have the top 5 handles tonight as well. We have Mike reads the news, and we have Talking FLA. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all Florida tonight. We told you that last week. We didn't get to it. It's going to be going down tonight. So buckle your seatbelts. We're going to start the radio over at Pulse Talk FM in England, and right here on cavecrewradio.com.
Stu. My goodness.
Stu.
Stu's in chat.
Air traffic control, bring in New York. Roger that. Bring in Canada. 10-4. Gentlemen, we have liftoff.
The show is about to start. We have liftoff. In 3, 2, 1.
Bam! We are back again for number 10. Cave Crew Radio, Season 10. Let's go. CaveCrewRadio.com.
There was a time when the world turned their back on men.
Men with a dream and savage yearning within them. Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of being
I say this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Tonight's broadcast of the masculine feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
Gotta go to a place like a shot and a beer, steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Clayman, what else are you gonna do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball. It's a power play goal.
This is Cave Crew Radio.
Indeed, it is Cave Crew Radio, ladies and gentlemen. My name is DK. I am live in my cave in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. The weather is finally turning fair. We should be able to get outside, cut those lawns or swamps or whatever we have. It's just great to be here. We are live on CaveCrewRadio.com. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. And we are available wherever good podcasts can be found. It is great, ladies and gentlemen, to have some familiar faces in chat tonight. Choo Choo Stew from London, England. Short Sigh. Haven't seen him forever. Jason Scott. Just great to see everyone tonight. We got a big show for you. We got Twitter shits. We got Mike Reads the News and a complete lineup of Talking FLA. So, I really don't like these new camera things I've been presented with, so I may be playing with them throughout the night, ladies and gentlemen. But aside from the things I just mentioned, we got a lot of great things tonight. Big B is fighting an illness, so we're going to get through this. We're going to work as a team. We always do. Drink of the week may be a hot toddy. We don't know that yet, even though it is Cinco de Mayo. But before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to bring in your king.
And now, he is the king of the sovereign county of Urain-Stench and Stenchlandia, the commander-in-chief of the Water Gypsies, the self-proclaimed president of the United States, a university graduate, and always the epicenter of something. Ladies and gentlemen, His Royal Highness, Big B.
Yes, live from Queens, New York, I am King B, King of Stenchlandia and the Water Gypsies, your president-elect of the United States of America, and as always, the epicenter of something. This week, I am the epicenter of all things updates while being ill.
Oh, not good.
Well, I have some updates.
Oh,
I am
well, that
fighting,
might be good. I don't know. I'm just worried about you being ill.
Yes. This started like 2 days. It's weird because I had a doctor's appointment on Wednesday and I was fine. Later on that, I went to the doctor's appointment. Everything was fine. It's like the regular checkup. Later on that day, I come home. I start feeling like crap. And it's been rocketing downhill ever since. I've been fighting it. And then today is just gone to shit. So my throat is all scratchy, my sinuses and all that. Good times for me. But I wanted to make sure we were updated last week. We discussed what was going to happen on Saturday, and that was the reconciliation, and what were the sins of a 7-year-old.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you missed last week, if you weren't here, Big B's 6-year-old or 5?
7.
7. Sorry, I'm way off. Is going for his first communion. And one of the things I found very weird is he had to go to confession. And we said, what possibly does a 7-year-old have to confess?
Correct.
So now you're up to speed. And now we're going to hear what our buddy James confessed to the priest through the Lord, enabling himself to take his first communion.
And apparently this was a big topic of conversation, because when we sat down in there was no mess. It was just like, here's the procedure. You're going to go in and do this. So as the whole class is sitting in the pews, amongst the parents, there's a big conversation of, my kid doesn't know what to say. We don't know what to say. What are they going to say? So this was a big thing about what, they're all 7-year-olds. So
they had the same concern as we did last week on the show. Okay.
Right. I don't know what to say and this and that.
Yeah.
So we asked my son before he went in. He said, when you come out, you got to tell us what you said. He said, I'm not telling you what I said unless you get me my favorite toy.
Well, and you know what? Good on him, because what he said behind those walls, whether he's 7 or 72, was between him and God, even though there's some freak sitting on the other side of the screen adjudicating all this.
Well, we told him because he said that, he can now add extortion to his list of sins to go in there, because he's extorting us for prizes, because to tell us what his sins were. But he came out and he wanted to tell me, but not my wife, his mother.
So yeah, he's picking favorites.
Don't tell mommy, he said. He eventually told her anyway. But his sins were, he had 3 sins. His sins were, number 1, he did not turn off the phone while playing Pokemon.
That's huge.
That's huge.
I think we've all done that at one point or another.
Number 2, he complains about doing homework.
You know what? We all pray that every day, even when you're an adult and you're at work.
And number 3, he doesn't go to bed when he's supposed to. Massive, massive sins.
I don't think the third one can ever be forgiven.
Massive sins of the 7-year-old. And he had to, he told his sins. He had to come out, he had to kneel in front of like these candle things, and he had to say Hail Mary, and then all was forgiven.
He had to hail to a human. Beautiful.
Well, you had to say Hail Mary.
Mary, human.
Well, I guess.
Always my problem with Catholicism anyway. It doesn't matter. We're not doing that here.
That's true. But yes, he had to say one Hail Mary. Then he was done. He came back. He sat down, and then we could leave. And we went to a kid's, one of our neighbors' kids' birthday parties right after.
At what point did he get the unleavened bread with the juice? Or
that's coming up at the end of this month. Now this is May.
This is huge now.
So like last week was the start. I think my epicenter was the start of all things religious, events going on. So last Saturday was the start. He had reconciliation, and now we lead up to the communion, which is in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is. I don't even know.
Now, leading up to communion, you've done the reconciliation. You and I, as adults, we know how things go.
Right.
What if further sins compile in the meantime?
Well, the priest said before the whole thing began on Saturday, he gave this little speech. I wasn't paying much attention to it, but he did say, don't think of tonight as the only time you can come to confession. We encourage you to come to mass and confession every week or whenever you can. So they're encouraging them to go every week up until communion. I will say this though, and I may have to bring it down maybe next show. I didn't think about it until just right now. After the confession, we had to go into the basement of the church where they were handing out the tickets and all of this stuff for the communion. And in the packet, they give you 2 practice hosts, which is the little wafers that you bring home and you have to practice with your child on how they accept it and how they eat it and all of this stuff. So we have 2 practice hosts upstairs. I may have to bring them down next week and show them.
Yes, and then about the grape juice, you just purchase it at Kroger or wherever you.
I guess, yeah. They didn't give us a juice box or anything. It's just our tickets, some little banner he had to make for his communion to put on the end of the pew, and the hosts and a couple other like a instruction packet on what's going to happen that day, and you go here and this and that and everything else.
Now, normally Miss posts a lot of pictures, and I'm not sure, but I've known you a long time. It might have been when Peter went through this, or when James was getting baptized, or whatever it was. Did you have the same look on your face you always have, which is like the blandest, most uninterested look I have ever seen anyone make?
So I will tell you this. We were all assigned to each our own individual pew, right? So it's in, down the middle, half on this side, half on that side. So we're in the second row. So the priest is giving his little speech before everything happened. It is day 3 of the NFL draft. I'm sitting there on my phone with my head down while he's giving the speech. My wife, who just came in with the drink, so we'll get that ready. But
coming from the wrong side, did you reverse your camera?
No, you reversed yours because you're completely different.
Okay.
So my wife just taps me on my leg. She says, "Switch seats." And I look up from my phone. I'm like, "Okay, whatever." I just move over, and she sits next to my son. And a little while later, I said, "Why did you want to switch seats?" She said, "Well, you usually don't participate. You had your head down in your phone, so I just wanted to move over and make sure the priest didn't see you not paying attention to him."
So you're worse than a 5-year-old kid, basically.
Yeah, basically.
All right. Hang on. We can't go yet. I got to cue it up here. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Another segment we always do on the show with me on the little camera.
Friday nights are meant for drinking. Here is Mrs. B's drink of the week.
It fell. So this is the drink of the week. This is we have to thank DK for this, because you presented this in our chat, in our private chat. The banana, whatever it was called, the dirty banana is what this is. So this is a frozen banana with rum, Kahlua, and milk, right? And that's it. And there was presentation involved where there was like half the banana just in there, but it fell. So there's a banana in here as well.
Are you gonna eat that banana?
Probably
God,
not.
is that gross?
Probably not, but I will drink the drink.
I don't know if Jason Scott is still in chat, but he would love this. The dirty banana. I sent, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. There's a friend of ours that Jason Scott. He loves bananas, so I'll occasionally. That was a quick turnaround, Mrs. B. I got to give you full credit.
Well, I said
like 11 o'clock this morning or something. You didn't have a lot of warning.
Oh no, that was yesterday. Yesterday you said, yeah. So
I lose track of time.
As soon as you sent it, I took a screenshot of it and I sent it over to Mrs. B, and she said, "Oh, it sounds good. We should have everything already in the house." Shows you how much of an alcoholic I am. I already have all the alcohol ready to go.
You just need to get your practice wafer out on the show.
I will bring the practice wafers down next week,
Yeah.
so we can show them. Oh, she
Is-
can go get
is-
them if we want to show them this week. She can go get them.
Is Mrs. B going to enjoy a dirty banana?
Are you going to enjoy a dirty banana?
Well, that sounds terrible, doesn't it, Mike?
That does sound very, very terrible.
Yeah,
but
I apologize. And anyone else, I hope there's no females in the chat. I apologize, Mrs. B. I didn't mean it that way. I'm talking about the drink. And I am not at all accusing Big B of having a dirty banana. Excuse me while I write things down.
And while you write things down, as we always talk about, my wife, Mrs. B, always does crafting. So we're talking about the upcoming communion. She was off today and was doing communion crafting all day long.
I saw her Bible cookies or whatever they were.
Those are chocolates. Those are Bible chocolates. So I had to print out 2 pages of mini Bible things, and she's put them over two individual like Hershey's squares.
Yeah.
And turned them into mini Bibles. And
then if you're not a friend with Mrs. B, you could attempt it. I don't know if she'll friend you. These are beautiful. These could be sold at a candy store easily.
They could. And she also made a lollipop bouquet. So she made tissue paper, like she made.
See that as well. Yes.
Made tissue paper to look like a flower and put it in a paper covered like styrofoam box. And
my wife,
you saw them on Facebook.
My wife used to do that, all that shit when Jake was younger too. I remember all that.
Yeah, so that she's going back up now to continue her crafting.
All right. Best of luck to you, Mrs. B.
He said, good luck to you.
And thank you for making us a dirty banana, which very well could be the show name if nothing else comes up.
This is the dirty banana.
My God, that's absolutely disgusting.
And look at how it's dripping.
And Jason Scott is that the banana drink? Oh, hang on. I got to write that down too.
That could absolutely be a show name. Is that the banana drink? Jason Scott, yes, this is the banana drink. And yes, there's milk in here. There's milk, rum, and Kahlua, and frozen banana.
I always write things down because you never know what's going to come up in the hopper. But yes,
I haven't written anything down, luckily. So you've gotten a couple of good ones in.
If you need a recipe, Jason Scott, yes, there is milk in that. If you need a recipe, contact Mrs. B. Best way to reach her is cavecrewradio@gmail.com. I will forward all messages to our bartender.
But of course, for this one, it's in our group chat, Jason.
I don't have a new camera. I don't know what's going on tonight. This is all our server.
I was going to say the same thing. Everything on your side to me is reversed. So what is this? Oh, I have more things coming. Hold on.
Oh, hang on. Let's go back to the secret camera mode.
Okay, so we're further moving. So for the reconciliation, they gave them they had to do a lamb. They had to make a lamb, which is this.
Okay, Lamb of God. I get it.
Lamb, and they had the act of contrition on the back, so they had to say it. So it's on here in case they forgot it.
The act of attrition.
Contrition. Act of contrition. So that's what he brought with him. And here is the hosts.
I'm still downstairs, short side.
Yeah, you're on a completely different side. But let me show you. Here we go. Here is the practice hosts.
Okay.
With the cross on it.
Oh my goodness! Now, is that cross whole wheat?
I don't
is
know
it fully edible?
It's edible, and it says on here. You can't see it because it's like kind of see through. It says low gluten. So just to make sure, in case you have a gluten thing, We have low gluten hosts, and we have 2 of them.
Okay.
So we can practice with 2 of these things.
Right.
So this is what we got last week, part of what we got. And the lamb he brought with him with
Right.
the act of contrition on the back.
No idea what the act of contrition is, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to Google it and share it with me in a private message or at cavecrewradio@gmail.com, I would greatly appreciate it. And I am a Christian, ladies and gentlemen, but by far I'm not a Catholic. The veil was torn on Golgotha when everything happened. Anyway, but you need to get Mrs. B to get those little friggin' grape juice glasses. So, you know, the host or whatever Big B is calling it is the body. And then, of course, the blood would be the juice.
That is true. So we'll get that figured out. Short Size very upset that you're completely backwards today.
Guys, I'll fix it next week. It's been a long week. I apologize. Could be the camera angle. I'm still here with you. It's the voice that matters, not what you see on the screen. We're gonna jump out of here really quick, and not a commercial break by any means. We're going to go into Mike Reads the News. Mike Jolitz, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you were not here last week, Big B and I received breaking news. That breaking news is you cannot find Mike Jolitz anywhere else. If you don't know, Mike Jolitz was an independent podcaster before he agreed to join us on the show as a pre-recorded co-host, let's call it. He's part of the show. He's in the picture. He's going to be on the new T-shirts. Now, nowhere else can they find him. So I love that kind of like bait and switch, because I think it's going to work in our benefit. Because anyone that's a fan of Mike Jolitz but could care less about me and you, fuck you. Now you got to listen to the show.
That's
and
right.
I'm going to drag it out as long as I can before I play any Mike Jolitz for you.
That's right.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It's time for Mike Reads the News.
And now, Cave Crew Radio presents Mike Reads the News with Mike Jolitz.
Hello, Cave Crew Radio. How are you doing, DK? And how's it going, Sir Big B? All right, guys, it is now time for Mike Reads the News. Today is May the 5th. I refer to it as Cinco de Drinko. I'm drinking some tequila right now. NFL suspended Amani Bledsoe for 17 games of the 2023 season. No football for him, and no soup either. Phoenix hit 100 degrees last Sunday for the first time this year. Bed Bath & Beyond, or as I call them, Get Me Out of Here, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I'm not affected by this news at all. ESPN fired Marley Rivera after she called another journalist a fucking cunt. That's wild. The Capitol rioter known as QAnon Shaman or whatever was released early from federal prison into a halfway house out here in Phoenix, Arizona. I don't know, whatever. And finally, in the news, Butt Light is giving away free beer following the Dylan Mulvaney fracas. That doesn't count as sales, dumbasses. Alrighty, guys, that does it for the news. It is now time for the tidbits. They're not headlines. They're just little tiny pieces of shit. Yeah. Futurama is coming back to TV on Hulu. Oh, yeah. Gordon Lightfoot died. Oh, no. May is Malt Liquor Month. Go grab you a Mickey's. Oh, yeah. And finally, in the tidbits. Oh, yeah. 76-year-old Cher broke up with her 37-year-old boy toy. Ew. Nasty.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty, guys. That does it for the news. That does it for the tidbits. Hope you guys have a great show. I will be checking it out. Tschüss, ciao, and auf Wiedersehen. Later. Bye-bye.
This is Radio.
All right. I'm still trying to learn the new controls here, ladies and gentlemen. We got some like really weird there. I don't know. Which one do you like better? There we go. That's better. Mike Jolitz reads the news every week right here on Cave Crew Radio.
I want you to try something very quickly.
Yeah.
So you see on the bottom where it says in stream and you see you.
Yeah.
Click on that little gear and where it says mirror camera.
Yeah.
Make sure that's checked.
Mirror camera. It is checked.
It is. Uncheck it.
You like that better?
There we go. Now it's back to normal.
Okay, that is unmirrored camera.
Now everybody should be happy. That's back to normal. The normal way we see you every week.
Whatever makes the audience happy.
I think Short Side can relax now. He can have a drink and hang out.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, normality resumed. Short Side says, whatever makes you guys happy.
See, it's the little things.
You shouldn't be watching me anyway. Excuse me. We both have I got allergies. I don't know what it is you got.
I'm assuming an early spring cold.
All right, and I'm going to let you carry this portion of the show as far as you can. We're going to break halfway for Twitter shits, ladies and gentlemen. But we promised you this, and this is what you get.
Cave Crew Radio presents Florida in the news.
You got to give me a couple of weeks, ladies and gentlemen, to get used to these things. Anyway, we promised you last week it was going to be all Florida, and it is tonight. We've got a story about some bees, which is a good spring story.
Yeah, it's one or two bees on the highway. First story of the night comes from WFLA.com, News Channel 8 on your side. Headline reads, Crash unleashes 1 million bees onto a Florida highway.
1 million?
1 million.
Would this
like
be
Dr. Evil, 1 million.
Yeah, Dr. You and me. Same thing.
1 million bees.
This is how you know your co-hosts are in sync with each other, ladies and gentlemen. That was not pre-rehearsed. I guarantee it.
A semi-truck hauling beehives crashed early Tuesday, releasing a swarm of bees onto unsuspecting morning commuters. Florida Highway Patrol told NBC affiliate WTLV the truck was hauling beehives, which were home to around 1 million bees. The crash happened on US 301 near I-10 in Baldwin, which is just outside of the Jacksonville city limits. No one was hurt in the crash, according to FHP, but some of the hives were damaged, leaving a swarm of confused bees gathered around the truck. What do confused bees gathered around the truck look like?
They sting you.
They do. Beekeepers loaded the intact hives into another truck before the road reopened around 7 a.m. The damaged hives were hauled away along with the semi. I just picture when they're saying confused bees were gathered around the truck. I just picture bees just sitting there going, "What the fuck is going on?
Not a chance.
What are they
Have
doing?"
you never been? Now, see, the problem here where I live in Canada is more yellow jackets. I guess they're more wasps. They're
Yellow
not
jackets are the assholes of the bee.
right, and they
family.
drive me absolutely fucking crazy. And I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, a good way to get rid of them is to get an old soda pop bottle, cut the top off, invert it, put a lot of sugar in there, and they can't get out. And there's nothing more I enjoy on a summer weekend than watching those bees fucking drown to death. But these are honeybees. These are good bees. I thought there was a shortage of bees. I thought they were like endangered and we're trying to protect them. If there's a million, we're almost China here, right? We're almost China population.
There was a million just inside that one truck.
Right.
I can't imagine the population across the United States. It's got to be in the billions.
And then imagine again the rest of the planet. Why are we so worried about bees? Have you not found honey at your grocery store lately?
Because climate alarmists will say anything to get their message across.
So you're again saying this is another thing that Greta Thunberg has planted into media.
Yes.
A million of them, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I just want to plant this thought into your head before we move on to anything else. I mean, there was that great movie, Arachnophobia. A lot of people are really scared about spiders.
Right.
How would you feel tonight, ladies and gentlemen, if you went to sleep surrounded by a million bees that were confused?
Very confused. I would love to see a confused bee.
Just curious about that.
What does a confused bee look like?
Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend. That's right.
Yeah. But anyway, the reason I say this is I'm thinking to myself, they've been telling us for eons and eons that there's they're endangered. There's 1 million in one truck moving across Florida, the sunshine state.
The bees are going to die in 5 years. The polar ice caps should have melted 30 years ago, according to them. It's all a bunch of shit.
The bees are going to die, ladies and gentlemen, because someone from Florida is in charge of transporting all of them.
Never leave somebody from Florida in charge of anything. Never.
Lord have mercy. From bees to parrots. I really like this one.
This next story comes from patch.com from Clearwater, Florida. Headline reads, "Man arguing with parrot pulled over for erratic driving in Clearwater." Troopers said the parrot became angry, began arguing because it wanted to return home while its owner wanted to go to Clearwater Beach. Pushy parrot.
I love parrots. You know what? If you own a parrot and you don't teach it to say, "Help me, they turned me into a parrot," you're missing all the fun. You imagine you walked into someone's house, you taught your parrot, right? "Help me, they turned me into a parrot."
and make sure the parrot is out of sight.
Right.
And when your neighbor, when your friend asks, "Where's that coming from?" say, "I don't know. I don't have a parrot."
No, but can you imagine the parrot looking your friend in the eyes? Maybe he had one of those special cookies or something before he came over, and the parrot's looking at him going, "Help me, they turned me into a parrot." Like all this thing that James is going through and all the conversations we're having, this is really spiritual. Someone zapped a human into a parrot.
It's like Jim Morrison seeing things out in the desert when he took peyote. It would be the exact same thing.
my wife won't let me get one, but if there's one pet I would like to have, I love dogs. They're fantastic, but I wish I could have a parrot, because could you imagine having a Cave Crew Radio parrot sitting on my or your shoulder and on cue giving the show name of the week?
If it's sitting on your shoulder, you could dress as a pirate, like being on the Dutchman, and sit there with the pirate on your shoulder and be the captain, and it could give the show name of the week with you while you have your pirate hat on.
Yes,
say,
arr, arr, right?
I like it.
I would love it. I know we start these ideas and nothing ever becomes of it. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to start a GoFundMe. I would think it would do better in Big B's house than mine, but we need to have a Cave Crew Radio parrot. And just like sitting on a perch to that side of me. See, I'm backwards now in my own world. Or on a perch behind Big B. And it would just say things like shit, fuck, cut.
I have 3 cats and 3 dogs. A parrot can suck a dick in this house. I don't care. I don't want one. You can have the parrot. I have enough animals in this goddamn house.
I don't know if my wife is in chat. I can never tell because she's usually very quiet. But if she is, may we please get a parrot?
Pretty please.
Please. I don't ask for much. I'm a simple man. I hate people. I hate going out in public. I'm taking you out tomorrow for your birthday for dinner. I just like to do my radio show, go to work, come home, drink myself into oblivion to forget what I saw in the outside world. And I need a parrot.
Did you just mention some breaking news that it's your wife's birthday?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Happy birthday, Isbia.
Happy birthday to Isbia.
I won't ask how old she is.
She's a lot younger than me. Let's put it that way.
Well, you're 55 years old, so she should be in her 30s, I would say.
Mid 40s, but she looks like she's 29 years old, ladies and gentlemen. But she can work and fund my retirement. And that's been the plan since the day I met her. But don't tell her that.
Shh, it's a secret. Nobody heard it. Especially if you're listening. Shh, you didn't. Earmuffs. You didn't hear that.
Shh. If you don't want to confess, you'll keep my secret. Anything else with this parrot? They did so the parrot.
We didn't even read the story.
Oh, I thought because this parrot is arguing with this dude. I gotta hear this. I apologize.
Yes, I read the headline, and
I'm just fascinated.
You were very excited by parrots.
Dude, like, can you imagine him? Well, fuck you. You know. Anyway, go ahead.
After the Florida Highway Patrol troopers received several calls Saturday night about a man driving erratically, possibly driving while intoxicated on US 19 in Clearwater, troopers Z. Logan and N. Darling located and pulled over the car near Clearwater Beach. But instead of finding a drunk driver, they discovered a man having an argument with his parrot.
I would say he was drunk, too.
According to troopers, the parrot became angry because it wanted to go home, but the man wanted to go to Clearwater Beach. The argument distracted the man, causing him to drive erratically. Troopers said they de-escalated the situation and resolved the standoff successfully.
So wait a minute. So can we role play this for a minute? So the man's driving along. He's like, I'm let's say he's not intoxicated. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. So we're going to clear. I want to go home. Is that what the parrot's doing, or?
That's the end of the story. So again, what happens when they don't give us details? We make it up ourselves.
Right. So what are you envisioning? I'm like the guy's going along. He's like, we're gonna have a nice little. It's gonna be not too busy at Clearwater Beach Day. I'm gonna let you off your perch. You can swim into the Gulf, and we're gonna have a good time. And when you get back, I'm gonna give you some peanuts and I want to go home.
See, what I'm picturing is if you've ever seen the movie Fight Club. They have the characters played by Ed Norton and Brad Pitt, but they're actually the same person. And they're arguing with each other in the car in several different scenes. This is what I'm picturing. I'm picturing this guy arguing with his parrot, thinking that he's in some form of fight club and talking to not a parrot, but another physical human being sitting next to him.
I gotcha. So it's kind of like me because I talk to my dogs all the time because speaking of my lovely wife, she gets tired of listening to me talk, right? As you probably do as well. So I speak to my dogs and I somehow feel an answer and we have a conversation. So you're saying the parrot doesn't even speak?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the parrot doesn't speak. The parrot is just sitting in the car, but he thinks he's speaking to another human being.
So the parrot doesn't even go, hello. We've all been to those little zoos. And the parrot looks at, hello. Come on. I'm not the only one.
Yes, we've all heard that, but I don't think the parrot is speaking. I think he's just arguing with an imaginary person, and the parrot could be cawing or, maybe he says a word or two. I'm sure he's not having an argument like we're having this conversation here. I'm sure the parrot is not having this type of conversation. So the parrot will say a word or two and caw, but this guy thinks he's speaking to another human being next to him. We'll call him Doug. He's speaking to Doug the parrot.
Excuse me.
And having an argument about if we want to go to Pizza Hut or the beach and have tacos. They don't know, so they're having an argument while on the road. He's taking the parrot and personifying it.
Do you remember the story we did, though? It was a long time ago. We've done a lot of stories, but there was the one where the parrots were like up on a roof or something or wherever they were trapped, and the firefighters had to rescue them, and they were telling the firefighters to fuck off.
Yes, I do remember that.
So
parrots can be trained to say a number of things, but in this case, he's not having a full-blown argument with the person.
So Big B and I on this one agree to disagree, ladies and gentlemen. I'm imagining the bird turning his head, yank, 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 whatever, and whatever his name is talking back. Big B is imagining him talking to the parrot like I would have a conversation with my dogs.
If you're having a full-blown conversation, then yes.
Yeah, I do. I'm cooking. I'm like, how was your day? What did you do today? Like, I know they're not going to answer me, but I'm just letting you into my messed up head, okay?
We need a full day of live stream in the life of DK.
I should do TikTok lives of me talking to my dogs.
I want to see TikTok. Well, I'm not on TikTok, but I want to see Facebook lives of just your normal day, because you talk to your dogs, you fight with your neighbor about the lawn length. I want to see this happen on a daily basis.
Which, by the way, Big B, now that we're off of the parrot here for a minute before we move to our next story, and we'll do one more before we get to Twitter shits. Is tomorrow is the day I cut the front lawn.
Oh boy.
It's going down to the dirt, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to put my Serbian neighbor into such a fit of rage. He struggles with the English language as it is. It's so much fun. And he's going to start like signing at me and cursing me in Croatian. I will report back as my epicenter next week.
How big is your front lawn? Your piece of the front lawn, how
Very
big is it?
small, Big B. You know that I live in a side by side, but the two front lawns are joined. They're both very green right now. He's got his looking lush and beautiful because he doesn't work. He's retired, whatever. And mine's a little long. Tomorrow I shall cut it very short because in my mind, I don't want to cut it again.
So this is what I'm getting at, depending on the size of the lawn. Why don't you tear up the entire lawn? Not just your side, not his side. Tear up the entire lawn and put rocks down.
Oh, bring that before Isidore. It would be wonderful. And put gnomes all over the place. Just
You could put rocks and gnomes and paver stones.
I love it. I would personally do it.
But your wife would not.
You'd have a tough time. But she doesn't complain when I cut it really short.
But what would
you take a picture and post it on Facebook tomorrow on the Cave Crew Radio Facebook page of how short I cut it? And then he's, why you make it so short? Oh my God, you need to add 8, 15, 45 fertilizer now to save. Fuck you up the ass.
Now, what would he say if you tore everything up and put rocks down?
He may move, maybe. He just might move. I don't know. Should we do another story before Twitter shits?
Yeah, this one looks like it's really, 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 really quick.
Yeah, but a lot of fun. A lot of fun. As quite there we go. As quite often.
I don't think that's the one.
Yeah, it is. P.
No, shirtless man.
Oh,
let me make sure I'm correct. No, you are correct. Yes, I skipped one. Sorry.
Yeah, because I'm pretty accurate in this. Anyway, looking you in the eyes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a tough guy. Guess what he did?
That's this. Okay, hold on. I had to pull it up. I had the wrong one pulled up.
I don't like these camera angles. It's going to take me a couple of weeks to. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Talking FLA, you're listening to Cave Crew Radio. Big B's getting set up. Right after this is Twitter shits, and then we're going to come back with more Florida. And if you know us, we leave the best stories till the end. Anyway, this pretty gentleman had an accident.
Yes, this comes from our favorite place in Florida, the Villages News, where everything seems to go down in the Villages. Headline reads, DUI suspect who wet his pants complains he couldn't hold it.
He wet his pants. What a pleasant way to put it in the media.
A drunk driving suspect who wet his pants complained he couldn't hold it. Robert Ernest Breedlove, who is 67 years old, of Lady Lake, was pulled over about 2:30 p.m. Saturday in Fruitland Park after a check of his license plate revealed the truck's registered owner does not have a valid driver's license. Remember the time, ladies and gentlemen. It's 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon.
Right after brunch.
Right after brunch. He's drunk as a fuck. During the traffic stop in the parking lot of Bob's Zippy Mart.
Oh.
I'm writing that down. Hold on.
Are you writing that one?
I am.
Bob's Zippy Mart. These will all play in if we ever get our radio dramas going again at some point.
In the parking lot of Bob's Zippy Mart, an officer noticed that Breedlove's pants were wet and there was a strong odor of urine. Breedlove said...
It smells like cat litter to me.
Breedlove said he'd spilled his drink. It appeared that Breedlove, whose license has been permanently revoked for multiple driving under the influence convictions, had been drinking. A search of his pickup turned up a full bottle of Bacardi rum in the truck bed, 4 bottles of Fireball whiskey in the glove compartment, and a box of wine held behind the passenger seat.
He's going big at 2:30 p.m., ladies and gentlemen.
2:30 p.m. He's partying like it's New Year's fucking Eve.
Yeah. Go big or go home.
A plastic cup containing an alcoholic beverage was found in the truck's cup holder. He was also found to be in possession of drug paraphernalia.
Of course. Only in Florida.
Breedlove refused to participate in field sobriety exercises and also refused to provide a breath sample.
What would a field sobriety exercise be? Would that be kind of like the hokey pokey?
Well, that's you got to stand on one leg for a certain amount of time. You got to walk a straight line forward and backward. You got to, put your arm out and touch your nose, things like that.
Well, I would think to make things more animated and fun for the person who's about to go to jail and lose their license, just do the hokey pokey. Put your left foot or lay down like a twister mat or something and go like right foot green.
Well, if you've ever watched any episode of Live PD, some of the times when they've pulled over these drunk drivers, they do it all on their own. The officer says to walk the straight line 9 paces, heel to toe, and then turn and walk 9 paces back, heel to toe. They dance down the line.
Oh, did you see the woman? I think we covered it here. The woman that broke on the Irish dance.
Oh, yeah, they've done all sorts of things. I've seen, chicks take off their wigs and spin it around and all of the, it's a whole thing that occurs sometimes in these DWI field sobriety tests.
Hey, go big or go home, I say. You're busted, you know it. Make a spectacle of it.
The Dayton, Ohio native was arrested on charges of driving under the influence, driving while license suspended, and possession of drug paraphernalia. During a trip to the Lake County Jail, Breedlove admitted he had urinated on himself in his truck because he couldn't hold it.
So let's imagine this. Let's dissect this for a minute. So he's in the truck. There is a suspicion that he urinated himself because of the smell in his wet pants, but he had originally said he spilled something. So he sat back there and he goes, Ossifer, I just want to let you know, I want to come clean. I just peed my pants.
I bet he's hoping that bit of honesty gets him leniency in his sentence. The officer will be like,
at least the judge will give me a break because of my honesty.
The officer will be in the court and say, Your Honor, yes, he was under the influence. He was radically driving. We pulled him over. But to his credit, he was honest about pissing his pants.
He was honest about wetting himself. Yes, I would, and I'm no judge. You are the judge of the show when we do that role. But I would find compassion on this individual because of his honesty.
Because he was honest about peeing his pants.
Yes.
Again, if you've ever watched any episode of Live PD and seen these people that piss and shit themselves, officers are not happy about that. They are not happy to put that in their vehicle.
Right, because then you got to spray it down and Windex or Lysol or what. I understand their side of the thing. But at the same time, if I was arrested, so I got my hands behind my back, I'm publicly inebriated. This is why I stay in my basement, ladies and gentlemen. I do not get arrested this way. But if I was, and I asked the officer, excuse me, constable, I need to use the facilities. They're not going to let you. They're going to throw you in the back of the paddy wagon or the car. So what choice do you have? Have you not? I've been in a traffic jam one time, Big B, only once in this happened. I had to pee in an empty McDonald's cup because traffic wasn't moving. I had to piss. This is years ago, but I peed into a cup and then I disposed of it later. I didn't pee my pants per se, but
you have to understand, all of these people that get arrested will say anything to delay the time of going to jail. So I'm sure they hear all the time, oh, I got to go to the bathroom, when they don't really have to. They just are hoping to delay going to jail and try to figure out a way to, get out of this situation. So police have heard it all. And, you see them say, yeah, hold it until you get to the jailhouse. You can pee there. That's just the way it is.
And so the rookie, the guy driving the car, let's call him Carl, he's driving along and he looks over to Sarge and he goes, I guess we were wrong about that one. He really did have to pee.
Well, then you said he's a rookie. The rookie got to clean the car. They got to, they take their lumps like anybody. The sergeant ain't going to clean the car. The rookie's going to clean the car.
Sucks to be a greenhorn.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's that one. We are now going to we're going to adjust things here, and we're going to go into another. Oh, I like the way that comes up now.
But we're missing the whole girl.
I know, but that's kind of cool. The whole screen comes up, and I don't know how to adjust it.
But you got the underboob coming on the sign, which is
right. But things are changing here in our studios, and I'm still getting used to it. Ladies and gentlemen, I will get my pen out for this because I'd like you to play along at home. Those of you listening, I always pick out my favorite Twitter handles. And if you don't know what we're talking about, you'll catch on really soon. It's time for Twitter shits.
Now, it's time for another edition of Twitter Shits with Mike Jolitz.
Mike Jolitz Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Jolitz Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Jolitz Twitter shit. Write the tweets and he reads the fucking shit. All right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Twitter shit. Yes, everybody, it is time for the Twitter shit. Late night TV is taking a kind of big hit. You have the screenwriter strike going on. Kimmel, Fallon, Colbert, all those other schmucks, they don't have any writers, so they're going to be showing some reruns. Even Saturday Night Live is getting hit by the screenwriter strike. So, that's too bad. Alrighty, guys, this is what Twitter had to say about it. I could not have been more amused. At Mikey B tweeted, I don't understand the issue. Can't they simply continue to not be funny without their screenwriters? From at Supermodel Model. Question, how many other tens of viewers will actually realize that they're watching reruns? At Shrek tweeted, as Monty Python so succinctly put it, and there was much rejoicing. At BJ Fan tweeted, hey, great news. When's it going to hit The View? At Survey Idiot, how would you rate this news? Good news, great news, never read anything better. Never read anything better one. At Sphincter tweeted, had it not been for the strike and the coverage of it, I never would have known those shows were still on. At Better Two Bagger tweeted, hearing good news once in a while is refreshing. At I Like Enel tweeted, wow, if we had only known. I support the strike and hope it goes on forever. At Idiot Savant tweeted, the amazing thing to me is that what we hear on these shows is the best writing they could come up with. At I Got a Fat Cat tweeted, just proof Democrats need other people to do the work for them. At Firefly tweeted, now that's funny. Probably the best line the union writers have come up with in years. At Nacho Year tweeted, shows how unfunny those guys are. They need a team of writers to produce programs that are still limp like my dick. Wow. At Gimme the Kraken tweeted, the tell will be if their ratings go up when the reruns are on. At Trump Fan tweeted, please, Craig Ferguson, come back, please. At Hans Gruber tweeted, I guess tonight there'll be a few dozen viewers out of luck. And finally, in the Twitter shits, from Eat My Honeypot tweeted, who are Colbert, Kimmler, and Farron? Alrighty, guys, that does it for this, the Twitter shits. You guys have a great one. I'll be back next week with another episode.
Mike Jolitz Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Jolitz Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Joe Lit's Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads the fucking shit. All right. All right.
All right, Big B. This is my favorite part of Twitter shits.
That's right.
And feel free to add at any time. My number 5 was, I've got a fat cat.
Very nice.
What a great name. I also like this one, Survey Idiot.
I wrote that down.
That was it didn't win for me, but it was cool. I also like this one, Supermodel Model. What am I at? That's 3, so I got 2 more, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm struggling about the number 2 spot. I'll go with Sphincter was in there, but I'm going to pass that. I'm going to go with I like anal.
I like anal.
What a great one. But the very last one was my absolute favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, my Twitter handle of the week was Eat My Honey Pot.
There you go.
Some of these could actually go for show names or show notes. I mean,
So well, I have to start writing this down. I forgot. So this week's
the new category for our awards, right?
Right. So this week I got to go to the back of the book and start here. So this is Twitter handle winners.
Yeah. But many honorable mentions.
Handle winners. But I'm just writing the winners down. So this was, what was it?
Eat My Honey Pot.
Eat My Honey Pot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was my favorite. And Big B, you and everyone else, feel free to participate. And put your comments in if you. I know it's a small thing, ladies and gentlemen, but I liken it to like CB radio. What's his name in the Smokey and the Bear? Smokey and the Bear. Right. I just love these Twitter handles.
They are great. Now I have to ask you a question before we move on to the next story in Florida. Are you upset about the writer's strike? Do you care?
I've seen some posts, but I really don't know how it's affecting me because we have no writers here on the show and no one helps us as much as we ask them to. So you know what? Good for them.
It would affect your. So there will be no more movies because scripts aren't written. There will be no late night shows because these talking head idiots can't write their own stuff. So I could care less.
Well, and let me put it to you this way. There's no more Yellowstone after this year because Kevin Costner's getting a divorce and he doesn't want to do it anymore. One of my favorite shows on Amazon Prime, Yellowstone. What am I going to do? I'll find something else.
Find something else. There you go. Yeah. That's it.
I'm a Leaf fan. What do I got to do? Like I've given up on hope a long time ago.
I like that. We will have much more discussion on Monday about the Leafs and the Rangers and all that stuff.
Monday night, ladies and gentlemen. Pucks and Pints. Anyway, what do we got here? Oh, a drunk tirade. I know you were waiting for this one.
This is the one I thought was I calculated.
I got to tell you before you start, I'm going to give you time to pull it up. I was on this beach.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the places I went. You're always encouraging me to find these weird stories and things that are going on. I was on this beach. I did not see this guy, unfortunately, on that day.
One day when you get there, you will see something.
I hope.
This next story comes from NBC2. Headline reads, shirtless man goes on a drunken tirade of vulgarity along Fort Myers Beach. There's a warning. Before you read the story, there's a warning. It says, warning, this story contains some language and remarks toward authorities that some readers might find offensive.
If you're still here, ladies and gentlemen, there was no reason for us to read that warning. If you're here, you're in the wrong place.
And are about to be offended, you're definitely in the wrong place. In the aftermath of Hurricane Ian, many businesses along Fort Myers Beach have put in the work to get their operations back up. With spring break still in season, this time of year is vital despite the real rebuilding process continuing. Then on April 17th, under the shade of the Montazas Pass Bridge.
When was I there?
I don't remember.
I got to go back and this might have been very close.
This was on April 17th. So look back when you went.
That's when I was there. Not necessarily at the beach that day, but right. I was in the general vicinity.
You were in the vicinity. An alcohol-fueled rage began swirling and gaining momentum. If left unchecked, a much-needed reprieve for vacationers and merchandisers could be lost. The Lee County Sheriff's Office arrived at the area and was greeted with some not-so-kind remarks from the eye of the chaos.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
I'm writing it down.
Oh, you are? Okay. I love it.
Eye of the chaos.
And I got to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, while he's writing that down, you do not know. So I Googled all these pictures about Fort Myers Beach before I went down there, and it was beautiful, like shops and bars and you name it. It's everything's around there. And they warned me. They said, when you get there, DK, you're not gonna. And I got there, and it was like a zombie apocalypse, Big B. There was a couple of businesses open, and they had food trucks or they had something going in a parking lot. And so I can envision this. I really can. And this is the exact time I was down there. Obviously, I missed this gentleman, but
his name is Daniel Eberly.
Right. I would have grabbed Daniel and I would have said, calm down. Let's go through this together. I'm going to make you famous.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Fuck you, you fucking bitch, were the first words that addressed the responding deputies, and they would not be the last. The Tiki Bar at Wahoo Willie's is where you can get some extra fancy drinks, from the key lime colada to the dirty Shirley. Tourists can whet one's appetite with an adult beverage while waiting for world-class food. However, it takes a lot to be cut off at the bar before your first drink is served. Patrons at the restaurant got their first glimpse at Eberly from across the street. Daniel was causing a ruckus at a cigar shop in nothing but shoes and khaki shorts.
I remember the cigar shop.
He was vulgarly berating customers and even took some frustrations out on a statue in front of the store. There was no damage reported to the statue, however.
The statue is a mannequin, by the way.
With tobacco not in his future, Eberly's gaze switched to Willie's and the live studio audience witnessing his continuing rampage.
Studio audience?
It was quote unquote. I mean, the people in the bar.
I gotcha. Okay.
Some tourists were surprised when they recognized Eberly when his reign of terror began earlier in the day at the remnants of Times Square. That would be in New York.
I was there. I know. It's terrible.
Can you explain to me what Times Square is in Florida? I know Times Square in Manhattan. I don't know Times Square in Florida.
So Times Square at Fort Myers Beach was, all the bricks were pastel, pink, baby blue, purple, whatever. And there was originally all these shops in like a square. Bars, shops, you name it, surfboards, whatever you wanted to get.
Right.
Demolished.
Oh, okay.
So as we walked across Times Square, and I have pictures I can send you. Those pastel bricks are very fragilely there, but there's what do you call those porta potties instead of the washrooms and the odd food truck or a stand selling T-shirts was there, but it's almost like imagine Vegas being completely wiped out.
Got it. Okay. Well, Daniel was not happy, apparently. Beverages became the target of Daniel's aggression as he knocked over several of the signature tiki bar specialties. As vodka and rum began soaking into the pavement, Eberly took one fully loaded plastic cup and chucked it at a passing vehicle. There was no damage reported to the car. Despite children being present, Eberly leveled curse word after curse word until everyone had enough and calls were placed to LCSO for intervention. Just around 6:45 p.m., deputies were greeted with the same language Eberly had been spewing to every other passerby.
Which minimum, I remember this very well. Fuck you, you fucking bitch.
That's right.
Yes.
At the bare minimum, deputies were trying to identify him. Suck my dick was not a pseudonym that would turn up in the database. So when they're trying to ask him his name, he said, suck my dick. So now Eberly directed all his verbal accostaments toward the deputy, struggling to pry any additional information from this unknown at the time man. As tourists and locals began to crowd around to see why their evening was ruined, LCSO had no choice but to place Daniel Eberly under arrest for disorderly intoxication and obstruction without violence.
How did I miss this?
Then the violence came.
Oh, no.
After being handcuffed and placed into the back of a patrol car, Eberly became enraged. He began to bang his head and kick wildly with such force that he started rocking the entire vehicle. Fuck you was the continuing mantra of Eberly while he was in custody. Deputies used a single spray from a pepper spray to gain any compliance as soon as Eberly began spitting at deputies. Ultimately, LCSO gained order and transported Eberly to the Lee County Jail, where he currently resides.
Well, I imagine he's going to spend a wee little time there.
That's right.
This is a great story. Fuck you, you fucking bitch. Suck my dick.
Just as your wife enters the chat.
Oh, hello, Ismore. I wasn't talking to you, my lovely princess of the world. You need to rewind for a short moment. You'll understand why I was saying that. But there is my lovely wife. We get a lull. She knows. I would never say that to her. I wouldn't be alive. Peanut butter whiskey, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
Well, I had the drink of the week, and I'm feeling like crap, and my throat is all fucked up.
Yes. By the way, Isby, you missed the drink of the week. The dirty banana.
I still have the banana. I'm not eating it.
Oh, that looked it. Show Isby. That's fucking. If you ever put that in my martini because you're out of olives, I won't speak to you for a week. Like if you're out of olives, ladies and gentlemen, just put one of those plastic fruits in. Don't fucking put a piece of banana in there. This is one of my favorites, ladies and gentlemen. Isby, I'm glad you're here. We're talking all about Florida. The last story, I think you joined a little late, was April 17th at Fort Myers Beach, when I think we might have been there, but we missed all the fun. Anyway, BB, this guy likes to sing. You know, he might choose Sweet Caroline or Oh What a Night, or who knows what song he liked. But this is a karaoke dude.
That's correct. This next story comes from clickorlando.com. Headline reads, Brevered man wields machete at bar after karaoke request denied.
How do you hide a machete is my basic question
That's
of
a
the
very,
story.
very good question.
You know, you can open carry, I think, in Florida, right? You can have like a 9mm, or you might have a steak knife, or who fucking walks into a bar with a machete?
Only in Florida, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, and look at this young man. But anyway, did they say what song he wanted to sing?
I don't know. We'll find out.
We're gonna find out, okay? Because
And if not, we'll make it up.
That's one thing you can count on us to do, ladies and gentlemen, is make up the rest of the story.
I say he wanted to sing "We Built This City on Rock and Roll."
I was going to say Billie Jean is not my lover.
That's a good one too.
Okay.
You will find out if they tell us. A
All
Brevard County man accused of pulling an 18-inch machete at a bar after being denied another karaoke song was arrested Sunday. Deputies said Travis Jordan, who is 39 years old, faces a breach of peace due to disorderly conduct charge in connection with the incident which occurred at Kennedy's Lamp Post Tavern, located at 7822 North Atlantic Avenue in Cape Canaveral.
I was not there. That place I did not attend, but it's on my bucket list when I retire. I guarantee you, Big B, when I retire and I get my trailer and Mrs. DK is funding me by still working, I am going to drive my little yellow golf cart to all these places.
Well, do you remember in one of the previous stories when the man peed his pants?
Yes.
Around what time in the afternoon was that?
2:30 in the afternoon.
Around 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
There's something with the 2:00 hour in Florida. Deputies responded to the bar shortly before 2 p.m. on Sunday and found Jordan unsteady on his feet with bloodshot and glassy eyes, smelling strongly of alcohol. A probable cause affidavit shows.
So what you're saying to me, Big B, I don't mean to cut you off, is we start too late in the afternoon. You should have your breakfast and get right to the strip.
That's how they do it in Florida.
Okay.
The big theme of the night was go big or go home, right? They eat breakfast and start drinking in Florida.
So remember, you were making fun of me on New Year's Eve, right? You're like, oh
I
yeah,
was never making fun of you.
Remember that thing?
I agree with you. Yes, I agree with that.
So in Florida, this is what they do. The parties are early in the afternoon.
That's right.
The kids do all their shit, have their orgies on the beach or whatever the hell it is they do.
That's right. We're going drinking.
Yeah. At 2:00 in the fucking afternoon.
2:00 in the afternoon.
Yes.
Deputies spoke with a person who said Jordan pulled out the machete, which was concealed on his body. 18-inch machete concealed on his body.
Once you go black, you never go back.
I guess
Come
so.
on, baby. He could have. What's that in your pants there, sir? Yeah, I took Viagra before I came to the bar at 2:30 in the afternoon.
He's very blessed.
Just my 15-inch penis.
He pulled a machete, which was concealed on his body, after someone denied his request to sing another karaoke song.
Right.
The woman, afraid for the safety of others, coaxed the suspect into peacefully handing over the machete. According to the affidavit, a member of the bar staff then hid the weapon and called law enforcement as everyone started freaking out. Jordan, who admitted to wielding the weapon, told deputies he was threatened days prior and had to stay alert to protect himself, but he had not been in danger the night he pulled the machete out. That's it. So that's the entire story. So I still say he wanted to sing "We Built This City on Rock and Roll."
I don't know. Now I'm leaning over to Party Rockers in the House today. Or we're not going to take it.
We're not going to take it. That's a very, very good possibility. I don't know what the Final Countdown by Europe.
Another good one. How about I Shot the Sheriff?
Perfect for Florida. Rock you like a hurricane.
Oh, and he's doing another shot. See, we got him in the mood. We know these do this. Listen, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't leave yet, especially Isbia. We know you're fans. You're a fan of the story Twilight.
Well, wait, this one you're wrong.
Yeah, very romantic series about werewolves and vampires and there's all these like all these TV shows on that women really like. There's something about vampires.
So in this one you're wrong, because there was a story before this, but we could skip that and just do this story.
Wait a minute. Hang on a minute. I'm going to take this down. I'm going to hide this. There's no way I'm wrong about this.
This one after Machete Karaoke was Taco ID.
Oh,
of course we could skip that because it's getting late.
All right, yeah, let's skip that because I don't have that one in the queue.
Yeah, that was Taco ID was next.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you keeping track of Big B's fucked up once, I fucked up once.
That's right.
Remember, I'm the one that has to push all the buttons all the time, though.
I'm sick.
And you're sick, yeah, and I'm sick, and we're all sick. And anyway, back to what I was saying, leading into the story, ladies and gentlemen, is if you're a fan of Twilight, I know the women, they read books and watch movies, and vampires are very romantic. Here's a kind of a Florida vampire story.
This next story comes from the newsglobe.net. Headline reads, a Florida man worried about vampires burns down his house. Melvin Weaver faces charges of aggravated battery and arson. Daytona Beach police said Weaver's wife sought to have him committed for mental health reasons on Sunday, but when police arrived around, guess what time?
2:30 in the afternoon.
2 p.m.
Oh, it's the magic time of day.
It's the magic Florida time.
It's like, when you go bird watching, it's like you either go early or you go at dusk. Now I've learned on tonight's show, the best time to catch this shit is 2 p.m. in the afternoon.
The 2 p.m. hour, sometime between 2 and 3, mostly between 2 and 2:30, is the best time to catch these things. Police arrived around 2 p.m. Weaver was acting rationally, and police determined that he could not be involuntary committed under the state's Baker Act. But by 7 p.m., Weaver grew angry and began hitting his wife and breaking windows with his cane. The vampires are going to defend themselves, he shouted.
Hang on a minute, I got to write that down.
The vampires are going to defend themselves. Weaver then set fire to his home by throwing ceiling insulation onto the stove. His wife was in the house at the time of the fire, but she managed to escape unharmed. Weaver grabbed a kitchen knife and began knocking on neighbors' doors, saying his house was on fire and that his wife was inside. He was arrested at the scene. Weaver's wife said he takes pain medication for cancer, but said she did not know whether he had taken any other drugs that day.
That's it.
That's it.
Has he ever heard of garlic?
A mirror.
A mirror. A crucifix.
A wooden stake.
Yes. You don't need to burn the house down.
But the vampires are going to defend themselves.
I got that written down. That's beautiful. All right. Last story of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Then we're going to do what we always love to do, and that is try and name the show.
And I've been looking forward to this story for weeks. I don't know why.
I don't know why either. You were like so excited about this, but maybe you and Mrs. B, while you're smoking meat, will kind of get into this. Or it's just
a very funny premise to me.
Right. Does this stop the one with the pizza or no?
Which one is the one with the pizza?
Remember they slapped them with pizza, right?
I always like when people get slapped with food.
Yeah.
This final story of the night from Florida comes from local10.com. Headline reads, Florida man arrested after wife hit with flying chicken wings.
Why are you wasting good food, ladies and gentlemen?
A Florida man has been arrested after police say he threw chicken wings at his wife during an argument. Police said they responded to a disturbance call at a home in Wildwood on Sunday night. When officers arrived, they said the victim was holding a baby and asked to be taken somewhere safe. According to the suspect's arrest report, the victim told police that the defendant and her had been arguing over the defendant having a lover. The victim said the defendant threw wings at her, with some hitting her on her shoulder and under her chin.
Oh, my goodness. And we all know how sharp chicken wings can be.
Wait, can you get the dun, dun, dun ready?
Yeah, hang on.
Just get it ready. Don't play it yet.
You tell me.
Officers at the scene said they saw chicken wing sauce on the victim's chin, neck, and shoulder.
Was it hot sauce?
I don't know. The victim said she tried to get away from the defendant by running with her baby to a bedroom. According to the arrest affidavit, there was an audio recording of the incident. When the victim
Is your wife ever thrown like a glass at you or something, or like punched you? If someone threw chicken wings at me, it'd be the least of my worries.
I just like how they put it like in domestic violence scenes, they saw bruising on the face or there was dried blood on the face. In this case, it was chicken wing sauce.
I'd be like, nom.
If somebody threw chicken wings at me, what the fuck are you doing? I wouldn't run and hide. You're throwing chicken wings at me. What the hell is wrong with you?
What the fuck are you doing?
When the victim didn't open the door, the defendant is heard yelling, "I'm about to beat your fucking ass."
Yeah, well, throwing fucking 1-inch fucking swing. It's like you're fucking throwing those stars, those Japanese stars.
Oh, I wanted to. Did they throw the flats and the wings?
Talk about David and Goliath, right?
Oh,
like
my
just
God.
launching the fucking wings, like.
Oh. He began violently banging on the door, which could be clearly heard on the audio recording. During questioning, officers said that Robert Francis Audette admitted getting mad and throwing the wings, but that he did not intend to hit the victim.
No, I'm just.
So where were you throwing chicken wings? Why were you throwing chicken wings?
Just random, right? 180.
Right, yes. There was a dartboard behind him. He's throwing chicken wings at the dartboard. He also said he went to the bedroom to get his cell phone from the victim. Audette was charged with assault and booked into the Sumter County Detention Center. He bonded out Monday afternoon.
You imagine spending a night in jail for throwing fucking shit.
And then you get at, they always ask, the inmates always ask, what are you in for? Throwing chicken wings.
Yeah. You're not going to be somebody's baby that night, right? Like,
oh my God.
What are you in for? Oh, I just killed 3 people with my bare hands. How about you? I was throwing chicken wings at my wife. Bend over, buddy. The soap's on the ground.
Oh my God. There was chicken wing sauce on her chin, shoulder, and neck.
Oh, Lord. Hang on a minute. I got to adjust things here. We are about, ladies and gentlemen. That's not the one I like. No, I don't want me on the big screen. Fuck, this never works. I don't like that either. Nor do I like it. All right, we'll go to that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with this awkward camera angle, it is now the time that we name the show. So I'll go first, as always, Big B. I do have a few things written down. Not sure what I want the show name to be. I have a couple. Definite show note, 100%. My favorite of the night. The vampires are going to defend themselves.
Definitely a show note.
100%. Also, really like, not sure if I remember where it was from. We will call him Doug.
It was the parrot fight.
Then I had written down confused bees. And I know I'm probably not loaded on the show name this week, ladies and gentlemen, but here are my two favorites.
Mm-hmm.
From Mike Jolet's Twitter shits, I would like to nominate as my number B show name, Eat My Honey Pot.
Number B, ladies and gentlemen. Remember when you're doing your numbers, number B.
I'm going to go right back to the beginning of the show, ladies and gentlemen, for my nominee for the show name, A Dirty Banana.
And I think that may be the show name tonight.
Over to Big B, you were writing things down, so you got 4.
I got 3.
3? Holy jeez. You're really slacking in the past few weeks.
I had 5 last week.
Okay.
Remember, I'm sick, and I was doing all the reading.
I know. You've done a good job, but I'd make it the show name, but we are definitely, the vampires are going to defend themselves.
Yes. That is a show note. I guess that's too long for a show name. So I have 3. My first one comes from, again, the Twitter shit's name, like you had the honeypot. I wrote down Survey Idiot.
I love that. Love these names.
Yeah, I very creative. The next one I have up is from from the drunken ruckus that went on in by the beach. The Eye of the Chaos.
Yeah, oh, that's a good one too. I was going to write that down. Definite show note for sure.
And finally, this is my entry for show name. I don't remember where this was from, but Bob's Zippy Mart.
All right, we got... Okay, hang on. Because one will be a note and one will be a show name. We are guaranteed in the notes, ladies and gentlemen, the Eye of the Chaos and the vampires are going to defend themselves. It is either going to be, and this is kind of generic, so I could go with what you got. A Dirty Banana.
Which is the drink of the week.
Or Bob's Zippy Mart. And I do kind of want to lean to that and put the Dirty Banana in the show notes.
And I will follow you. I could go either way. So if that's where you're leaning, I agree with you.
I just really like that for a show name.
That's fine with me. Bob's Zippy Mart is the show name this week.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Tell your friends. By the way, we had a great crowd out there tonight. We had a lot of listeners at one point, and we appreciate you hanging out with us. Absolutely. All right, I'm done. I'm good.
Later.
See you guys.
Thank you to all the listeners on our affiliate stations. To find out more, check out Cave Crew Radio on Facebook and Twitter.
I want you to pack up and get out.
Get the hell out of here! Go! Just go! Get out! Get the hell out!
Get out! Get
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
From this day forward, it's going to be only America first.